Welcome to another episode of Space Cadettes. Hello, this is Bean, Jenna, and we're going to talk about a lot of cool stuff today. Zenescope, our book of the week from a while ago, and we're going to talk about some fun mashups. I'm going to throw it over to Jenna with some Zenescope book of the week stuff.
Yeah, do we want to start with mashups, or do we want to start with I will take over the whole next hour for Zenescope. Don't tempt me with a good time. So maybe we should start with the mashups. So I think I would do Margaret from Cursed Words, and I would give Margaret all of Shazam's powers, just for the fact of. So have either of you read Curse Words?
No, that was about to be my question, is like, explain who Margaret is.
Okay, so Margaret is huge spoilers about to happen. Anybody not wanting spoilers for Curse Words, bow out for the next 5 minutes, I guess, maybe, give or take. But you two, I'm about to spoil the crap out of it.
Oh, no.
You're going to want to read it even more after this. I think I have it. I have it. I think it's right behind me. Yes, it is. I have the super special hardcover.
Ooh.
Signed. There it is.
Oh, koala.
Yes, this is the super special Space Cadettes hardcover one.
Ooh.
Anyway, I'll have to let you guys borrow it sometime. So Curse Words is about a wizard who gets trapped in our world, and he has to get rubies to make his magic work. And he has a assistant that is a koala. Her name is Margaret, and she talks, and she keeps him on the straight and narrow, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Find out later, it is not. She is not just a koala. She's actually his daughter. And she gets turned into a koala because him and the lady he was with were going to leave the main sorcerer from their world and come to our world and just be like, we're free at last. But instead they get brainwashed into hating each other, and their daughter gets turned into a koala who has to be sent with him. So she is a child that's turned into a koala. So I think that sort of really resonates with Shazam being a kid who turns into an adult with powers. She is the daughter of two of the greatest wizards from the other universe. So she's got to have powers. She is the most, hold on, I've got to find a picture for you now. The animation in this is so great. She even learns how to use phones. She learns to use phones in our world, and they learn technology and stuff. And yeah, so this is look at this. This is the very beginning of it.
That's awesome.
It's a completed storyline. I don't remember exactly how many, but what they did was they had covers that were cats as the characters that were the specialty covers.
Good.
And then there she is riding a motorcycle with the magic wand being chased by a dragon.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and I would love for her to have all the powers that are that Shazam has. Here we go. They also had random pugs as the covers.
Yay.
Nice.
Yeah, there they are.
Oh.
So, yeah, I bloody well, I love these. This book was so good. Scotty Young did a couple of the covers.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. He's they are not nice people. But they were nice right there. I think I think I would keep the name Margaret. I don't know, just call her Super Margaret.
Marzam.
Marzam. Oh, I love
Yeah.
Yes. And then I think she would just be like a giant koala when she turned into Marzam. And just be like super responsible.
It'd be really cute at the same time, like a little bit terrifying to see like a giant koala just coming at you. Like it's like, oh, this is great. It's like, oh, this is bigger than expected. It's flying at you.
Yes, just flying at me with magic powers and a cape. Doesn't need the full costume, just a cape.
It's the future that Australians want. Just a magical koala, giant, just flying at other people or something.
Oh my goodness.
Super Margaret. Marzam, I love that. That is so yeah. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And this is why we're all friends. What about you, Bean? What would be your kind of mashup of two characters?
So I feel like this one's not like a zany one, but it's like a very cool one to me. I think that I would want, and we kind of have this some, but I think it would be awesome to see a mashup of Ironheart and Moon Girl, where like Moon Girl grows up to become like the new Ironheart, but she still has Devil Dinosaur with her, and all of her like super cool. Like I just feel like, because a lot of times like her tech is like a little more, and like I know it's because she's a kid, but it's like a little more like whimsical. It's a little more like, you know, Iron Man is like freaking lasers, you know, but she always has like really cool inventions and more like creative. So to have like Iron Man, but with maybe like a little more creative, a little more like out of the box gadgets too, like that'd be super cool.
Oh my gosh, what would her name be?
I don't know, because if I do the same thing that I did with Marzam, it'd be Moon Man, but that doesn't make sense. So
Oh my gosh.
oh my goodness. Our producer just put in the chat, like, what if we gave Devil Dinosaur a suit too? Like imagine the dinosaur with an Iron Man suit on. That's the real terror. Like, that thing is like zooming towards you.
Oh, forget the koala. Look at the T-Rex.
Yeah.
Oh, and then it could shoot lasers out of its mouth. Just.
Oh my goodness. Full Godzilla style.
Yes. Is that how Godzilla starts?
Oh my god.
Oh man.
Ooh, Iron Moon.
That's cool. Iron Moon. What about you, Shanice?
The Question and Moon Knight.
Mm-hmm.
Only because I kind of want to see, like, and when I say like The Question, I would like to see like the Justice League Unlimited cartoon, The Question, where he's like this conspiracy theorist,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd like to see that kind of like mashed up with Moon Knight's DID with his this identity disorder, and just kind of see how that would kind of play off together, because this conspiracy theorist and with one of Mark's other personas or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
it'd be kind of interesting to see like this, like, I don't know, like this crime book about that. It's like, is it a conspiracy? Is one of my other personas conspiring against me? I don't know. It'd be kind of like a fun little noir crime thing going on. I don't know. Like I just kind of want to see like what would happen.
Take my money. The chaos. I need that now. Oh my
like
gosh.
just the pure chaos of it. It's like, oh, this would be fun. And also,
and I kind of. Oh my gosh.
The chaos.
Yeah, so we can name it the chaos too.
You know,
oh my gosh. Now we need all three of our characters together as just like a team. And they're not really like heroes, but they're not villains. They're just sort of like, well, we're here.
I keep trying to think of like, I'm trying to think of like a really serious character and like a really goofy character to try to like combine. And like I keep wanting to think of like what would be like a good one to combine with Batman, because Batman's like, oh, I'm Batman. And then like Batman and like Polka Dot Man like combined. Just get weird with it.
Oh my gosh, we could do Batman and we could do Bender from Futurama.
Like that.
Yes.
Oh,
that would be the bad guy.
all right. Shanice, what's your weird mashup with Batman?
Batman. Oh my gosh.
It's hard.
With Batman, I want to see him just because I want to see this character in like a little like bat suit with a little cape. Lockjaw from the Inhumans. So like this giant alien bulldog in a little bat suit, just slobbering, just throwing batarangs at people, and no one can fight it because it's a bulldog and they're adorable.
Yeah.
Right?
Like it's like, well, vengeance and adorableness wins.
You
They
win.
win.
You win, Shanice. This one, this round goes to Shanice. She is the word.
I can't.
She
I
is-
had to think of a character.
I think it would actually work even better because Lockjaw can teleport. So even though he's like big and like whoa, 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 like he'd literally be like teleporting everywhere behind bad guys and be like, you know? That'd be so cool.
Oh my gosh, would he throw batarangs with his mouth or with his paws? Paws. Just throw it with his mouth.
I want to say like with his mouth just like covered in like slobber, and the bad guy's like, "Oh, that's so cute, that's a little bat." And as they're thinking that, just gets hit in the throat by
With the floppy ears too.
Oh,
little ears move.
I love him so much.
The paw rings.
I'm just imagining the batarangs are just like in the like folds of his mouth.
It folds out with all the folds.
It's
He
so
doesn't have like a little utility belt. It's they're all in his jaws.
Oh my goodness. I was actually reading my head earlier too because I was like, but I just thought like, what if he got combined with Cyclops just because then he would have laser eyes, like, and that was it. That was the whole thought, just like him with laser eyes.
It's kind of easy to pair up Batman because Batman, Metal and Death Metal, they were all a bunch of evil Batmans mixed with other Justice Leaguers and Doom's. No, who was it? Oh my gosh! So I know one was with the Flash but turned evil. One was a lady who was also like Aquaman.
The Drowned. That was
The Drowned. Yes, thank you. It was Doomsday, so he did cross over with Doomsday, and then of course they got to come to this main one where Wonder Woman gets her invisible chainsaw. We have to focus. We have to focus. Being in your great henchman laboratory with Doc Ock, can you make me an invisible chainsaw?
Yeah, well, let me get right on it.
Our producer just said Cyborg Flash Joker. I don't know.
Okay, so like a Joker who is a cyborg who can run really fast?
Or is it Cyborg who has the Flash's power that's had Joker serum?
He's terrifying no matter what.
I know. This is like, there's no way that's a good guy.
Fast Joker is like fast zombies. You know? Like fast zombies.
It already happened. It already happened in DC's Deceased. And the only way he got taken out was Superman, and then Superman got turned into one. And the only way to take out Superman was to have all of the Green Lantern Corps show up and scare him into eating the sun for the next 10,000 years. Can we just agree that the Flash and Superman cannot become zombies? Just let's never do that again.
What if you just put like a little like a what do you call them? banana peel. If he has zombie flash coming at you, just kind of like just eat it at him and just hope and pray that it won't be angry enough that to come after you, like you'll fall, and hopefully you can get Lockjaw Batman to help you out or something. Just slobber at it.
Lockjaw Batman is our only hope against zombie Flash.
And zombie Superman.
Yeah.
He's just going to teleport behind them and just bark at them and they're deaf. And then, actually, that could work. I love it.
Yes.
Okay, DC, give me the money.
Are there any other like big like mashups that are in you guys' brain?
I'm still stuck on Cyborg Flash Joker. I'm sorry. How would that even work? Like a cyborg Flash, I can't even see. Like I can't see it because when going at that speed, electronics like slow you down.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Like they might like start like fritzing out and stuff because they're being like compressed so fast. I want to combine Mr. Fantastic with something where because he's so stretchy, and just be like stretchy plus what though?
Oh, the Dragon Maid from Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, where she's a giant dragon but compressed herself into like half human form, but she still has this giant tail she keeps trying to feed people. But imagine her stretchy. Because she's also part dragon and she's trying to learn how to be human. And so she has a little trouble trying to just like figure out human things. Like I have to walk all the way over there. I can't fly. Imagine if she could just like stretch and do it. Yes.
That'd be crazy.
What about you, Shanice? Anybody come to mind for Mr. Fantastic?
It's fantastic.
Is there a character that you just wanted to stretch their little face? Because then you could just be like, yoop, and do big stretch on their little face.
Hard. Shoot, I don't know. Stretchy Harley Quinn.
Okay, now wait a minute.
But you just start
Harley Quinn for no reason. Stretchy. That is so many. That is so many.
I mean, she could be fighting with Joker and another part of her. She's next to Poison Ivy. I know. We're in this with Stretchy Harley Quinn.
Stretchy Harley Quinn.
I'm just imagining in like one of the stories where like she's like really in love with the Joker. She's just like fully like stretched and like has him tied up with her arms.
Don't go anywhere without me, Mr. J. Yes.
Swinging the hammer would be way different because her arms are just like noodly and just like oh.
All that force from the oh my gosh.
Man, do you guys have any ideas on like what if you could swap to superheroes' powers?
Huh.
And just like swap them. And I think I kind of thought of that because like I'm just imagining like basically like a gender swapped like Harley Quinn and Joker, which has probably been done, but like where she's like, haha, like I'm big toxic.
I don't know if they've done that. Like, I know they did it with Martha, Batman's mom, became the Joker instead. That was really cool. I would switch Harley Quinn and Squirrel Girl's powers. Like,
awesome.
Harley Quinn being able to control all the squirrels. I don't know why I really want to see that now. Because you'd be like, oh my God, guys, look, I can talk to squirrels. My impression of a squirrel.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Maybe my next cosplay should be a Squirrel Girl Harley Quinn.
Yes.
That'd be cool.
I could just go around like, here's a nut.
Start flicking nuts at people at conventions.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I make myself a big fluffy tail with all Harley Quinn's outfit. Oh my gosh. Oh, I want a tail.
For some reason, I'm also like imagining people with like Superman's powers, like other superheroes, but all of a sudden, like with all of their issues they have, they also just like are now like super powerful and like can like fly. Just like I don't know why I keep going back, but like the Joker is just like flying around now and like has laser eyes.
So, like, just giving Joker Superman's powers or switching Superman and Joker?
That would be cool too. Like seeing Superman as like Clark Kent all of a sudden has like gone insane and like paints his face like a clown, and it's just
the big, strong country boy just all of a sudden. That would be terrifying. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine this like almost 7 foot, just big old country boy, just like, ooh, I worked on the corn farm and now I'm crazy with my makeup.
It's like some Texas Chainsaw stuff.
Like Leatherface just gets, oh my gosh, ugh.
Oh my gosh.
Scary.
And that's a terrible accent. And we live in Texas. Like we're all three of us, we live here in Texas. In Houston, and I still can't really do a Southern accent. I feel like that's what Clark would sound like if he got Joker's powers. What would he be named? Like
Cornell.
Cornell is the best. Oh my goodness.
That's the winner. What about you, Shanice? Who could you see getting Superman's powers? Like, who could you see switching?
This doesn't have to be just from like DC, right? It can be Marvel too. Or
Yeah, anybody.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Lockjaw again because now I kind of want to see Lockjaw glowing red eyes.
Everybody gets Lockjaw. We'll just give Lockjaw all the powers.
Yeah, it's like Bryce. He gives him everything.
He gets super bark, where he can just like blast.
I bet him and Crypto would go into like a barking contest.
They just like level cities. No one's mad. Oh, it's so cute. It's like that. They just knocked out like a children's hospital. It's not cute anymore. Just knocked out buildings.
The West Coast has been completely fallen into the ocean, but it's adorable.
We lost some in space, but it's fine. It's too cute.
Oh my gosh! Can you just imagine Crypto and Lockjaw just like meeting? And oh my gosh, it does make me really excited to see Super Pets.
They would sniff each other's butts.
Yes, sniffing the butts and circling each other and chasing each other around in space because they both fly. Yes, on the moon. They would have to have puppy play dates on the moon or something.
It's the safest place for them. Like they can't have puppy dates on Earth. They would like the story somehow. And we wouldn't be too mad about it. It's like, you know what? Maybe it's our fault for being on Earth. I mean, it says we have to be here.
I mean, we're in their way, right?
Exactly. Like we could have went to the moon.
And then Ace the Bat Hound would just be sitting in his spacesuit, just being like, don't come near me. Because everybody in the Bat family has to be broody.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Except for Alfred. Alfred's just straight sassy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love Maximum Sass. Alfred is always my favorite.
Yes. Pretty sure he's the only one that could probably keep Lockjaw and Crypto and Ace like in line.
Mm-hmm.
Superman and Batman and be like, I don't know what they're doing. Alfred would be like, ding ding ding, bone time.
Oh man.
Alfred with superpowers, even Superman's superpowers would probably still just be like, Master Bruce, shall we away? And then just pick him up and fly off.
Yeah, that's hard for me to imagine because I think that the part of that character is that he's so strong and all of his powers like not super like, you know, he does so much, but he's not super powered. So I have trouble imagining him like with powers. So have you guys ever seen that in a comic? Like I don't know if that's ever happened where Alfred just like gets like super juice blasted on him and just like all of a sudden it's like super powered. I'm sure it's happened at some point, but
I don't know. I haven't seen it. You, Shanice?
But like the mental image of like Alfred just minding his business and Bruce like in the Batcave, like, oh, I'm working on the super serum. Whoops! It just accidentally super juice and Alfred gonna figure it out.
oh no,
It's really funny to me. That makes like comic. Just like he has powers like 12. He has like powers for like 12 hours, and Bruce has to figure out a way to take away the powers without like hurting Alfred anymore.
Stick with me on this, but like
Okay.
I'm imagining like Alfred with like the Sorcerer Supreme powers. Imagine that.
I
Because like
still see Alfred just being like, Master Bruce, you're making a mess, and then just moving him away somewhere else.
yeah. I think maybe because like the monks and everything, like it's like the whole like monk thing, so they're very like, like focused and sort of like that same personality of like focus and on like just on their duty. So I and of course that's also a Marvel DC mashup, so it will never happen, but it would be cool.
Oh my god. Actually, I think that has happened before. Hold on. This is the crossover that there were a couple of mashups in.
Oh, dang.
They matched up Storm and who is that with? Who's that? Storm is mixed with Wonder Woman. Yeah, so they did cross over and mash them up together. Yeah. I don't think Alfred's in here though.
Yeah, was it anagram? Analogram?
Amalgam. Is there an R in it?
I think so.
Amalgam.
Amalgam. Gotcha.
Amalgam?
Amalgam.
Amalgam. Okay, let us know down in the comments or if any of us is right. I'm gonna say it's amalgam. Amalgam.
Amalgam.
What about you, Shanice?
Arm Graham. Arm Grannies. Arm Granny. That's what I'm calling it now. I give up.
Arm Grannies, got it. I kind of want Granny apples now. Like Granny Smith apples. I want to give me an apple. Does that make me evil for wanting an apple?
I don't think so.
I found the real one. I found the real one. Captain America is mixed with Superman.
Oh.
Wolverine with Batman. Storm and Wonder Woman. I don't know what Cyclops is supposed to be. But they did do it.
We didn't have to think about it. You got a whole book of it. We
got 2 whole books of it.
Mashups.
I can't believe I forgot about it.
Held up that comic and flipped through it and been like, this is the episode.
Oh, Doctor Strange Fate. So it's Doctor Strange and Doctor Fate.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, how did I forget about this? So while the rest of us go look up and try to figure out how to say this fun word, we're just going to take like a little break. We'll be right back, guys.
Imagine being at a convention and going to an interview panel that's just for you. No bustling crowds, no hours-long lines, just you, the moderator, and your favorite comic book creators. Well, this is pretty much that. Miss Jen sits down every week with 2 comic book creators for a live stream interview about their latest work, and you can ask them whatever you want. It's Talking Shop, Mondays at 5 Eastern on The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales.
Welcome back, guys. We know how to say the word name now. The word now is called amalgam. Yay. So with that, I have to know, has there ever been a time in comics, like if a character died, you had that feeling of like, no, and then that's how it ended?
I've got a few, but the one I was actually thinking about today, it's Brian K. Vaughan's Ex Machina. It's a great comic. I recommend it. I think it's gonna be like the best superhero political comic I've read. I won't go into like too much details like about the actual ending and what happens, because I feel like it hits even harder once you go in completely blind. But it's such a downer, bleak ending that I'm just like, I'm just gonna put this book down and read something cheerful like Frost. So like it's obviously not Frost, but it's such a like the story like storyline, like it's not like a particularly happy one. Mitchell 100, he's mayor of New York because he does something very heroic on a certain day in September in 2001. And again, that's another thing that I don't want to spoil what happens, but you know, kind of figure it out, I guess, by the date.
Oh
no. Huh?
I said, oh no.
Yeah, no, it's I think it's again, but like the ending, it's just. I guess the only thing I can say is like it's in the actual title of the book that spoils what happens, and it's just like, okay, yeah, I guess it makes sense, but man, this sucks. This happened to the main character. Being what's your heartbreaking downer ending?
I actually don't know where this happens in the comics. Because, and you guys probably know exactly, but because I've seen it in the MCU, but I haven't actually read the comics. I'm guessing it happens in Infinity War, or somewhere where Iron Man dies. Because because I know, like, I've read a lot of the comics where that he is like basically like an AI like hologram and he's gone. So I know that happens in the comics somewhere. But like when that happened in the movie, it destroyed me. And so I'm like, I know wherever that happens, and it already made me sad like every time I see him as like ghosty like hologram, because I'm just like, oh, do you guys know like where that happens?
So I'm just trying to think of like Thanos actually ripped Iron Man in half.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to Dean's face just went, oh.
I know. And it's like I know I want to read that story, but like I said, I mean, it's trying to kind of like get into Marvel and read through everything. There's so much. There's so much.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah.
Are we talking about the first time he dies, or that's the hard part about DC and Marvel comics is every time a character dies, you know they're gonna come back.
Yeah.
But I think the first time they ever killed a character, like in comics, I'm pretty sure the mass public was like, no. But nowadays we're so used to them coming back that we're just like, oh. Except for like in some of these like smaller comics where you're like, yeah, that person ain't never coming back.
Yeah.
They're home.
In indies, you're not safe.
Like, especially like the one that I read, the one that I'm about to bring up. I still cry about it to this day.
No.
And it's actually got something kind of, oh my gosh. Okay. So in Zenescope, they have one main storyline that goes through every single other universe that they have. And there's one character that's the main, she's the behind the scenes character for the beginning first few trades or first few like books that they have of their main series called Grim Fairy Tales. Stella. You guys kind of met her this week. They're doing right now, they're on issue like 46, 47, 48, something like that of this new series where her daughter took over. Because she ain't just dead. She dead. Like she sacrificed herself for all the known universes for her daughter because she thought her daughter was dead. That's why she was doing the things that she was doing in the main storyline. And then she found out she was alive. She was like, well, okay, I'm going to change things. Well, all the things that she did when she thought she was dead come back to get her. And she had turned her like everything around for the better, but like she was so bitter at the beginning, you know, it was like, yeah, Zenescope's really good at that. They're so good at that. I don't own a single book in this entire shelf that has a good ending from Zenescope. Not a single book do I own. And every single one is so heart-wrenching that you just want to like scream.
Oh, no.
Yes.
That's terrible.
It's good though, and I can't stop reading their books. Oh my gosh. Just like Zenescope started with just taking these small like fairy tales that we know and twisting them so that way it's like you getting sucked into the actual story and then you have to live out that, but in the worst way. And then you come back to this world and you've learned your lesson that you can't live that way, you know?
Right.
Well, some of them did come back. Some of them didn't always come back. And so like that's how it started. But then they had one central character who had the book that you got sucked into. And they gave her like everythingness, like not just a life and a backstory, what you thought was going to be a future. They just sort of like, they built a universe around her and then took her out. And I still get emotional to this day about it.
Oh my goodness.
Because I have 9 or 10 of the trades. I think there's about 20 of them right now. And then the new story arc with her daughter, I have the first couple of those. If you can get your hands on the original like books, do it. Oh my God. You will lose a year or two of your life because like hunting some of these down is half impossible. Even Miss Jen was trying to get them and she couldn't get volume 2. Plus a couple of the other ones. It was weird. We got like all the odd number ones, but we couldn't get the even number ones. It was yeah.
I did just think of like something that you said kind of like made me think of, because I was really struggling to come up with like a comic that made me sad and made me like feel that. 'Cause usually I read like, I don't know, not that I don't feel sad, but just that like I read a lot of comics that are like very exciting, and so I don't really think about that. But I actually did think of one that was like very, very gut-wrenching, which is a part in Homesick Pilots. I don't know if either of you guys have read that one. But this is a little spoilery, but I don't, also not really, because until you actually like read it, you're not even gonna really know who this is. But the one character who she's basically with her friends, and then bad things happen to her friends, and they're literally exploded, and then the blood of her friends gets like, she's coated in it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it comes out and is like, time to wash it off, and the blood won't come off. And then she's just permanently coated in the blood of her friends that died. Jeez. And then but then it becomes like a superpower for her, of that, like the souls of her friends are still in the blood, and she starts being able to like control it. So it's also so sad, because it's like she's so devastated, and then she's living with the devastation just on her, and literally like everything she touches like gets blood on it because she's just covered in it.
Oh my goodness.
And so that series, the front of it is always like really neon, like the covers are always like neon and like, whoa, like kaiju battles, and it has that, but it's also really dark.
What is with these super dark, crazy, like dramatic things that just draws us in? I get a lot of people who want like, oh, superheroes and this and that, and then every once in a blue moon we'll get a customer in the store who's like, I'm not really into superheroes and stuff like that. You know, I really like dark and mysterious and horror. And you're just like, I've got you. Like, there are comics for everybody and everything. So, yeah.
I scared a customer once because she asked for horror comics. I went, oh! Because I was so excited. She was like, what is it? I was like, no, I'm really happy. Let me show you.
Yeah. Yes. Like, let me show you this world. Like Aftershock, Walk Through Hell. where it's literally just two detectives get stuck in a circle of hell that's a warehouse while they were chasing a bad guy. If that isn't psychological horror, I don't know what is. We love these dark twisties, don't we? Speaking of dark twisties and Zenescope a little bit, so this week's pick of the week was Grimm Fairy Tales Volume 1. This is the very first one I was just talking about. So Shanice has a little bit of history with Zenescope here and there. I don't know if Bean does, but this was their first book that they put out way back in the day. Way back in the day. I was in high school. Anyways, what did you guys think of it?
Shanice, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. So, like Jenna mentioned earlier, I started reading Zenescope about 2 years ago because I was handling a lot of like Zenescope titles at the time. So with Zenescope, when I first saw it, I'm like, oh, cheesecakey, pin-uppy, cool, whatever. I wasn't expecting the stories to be dark as they were.
I know, look how pretty this cover is.
Right. It's so unsuspecting. You're like, okay, cool. It's Little Red Riding Hood with an interesting outfit. Great. But like in the in this volume, like the stories, they are either bittersweet at best or just outright just downer ending. Everyone dies. Main character. It's great. I love it. Like it's
everyone
like
dies. It's great.
It's like a horror film in like 22 pages, if that.
Yeah.
So I really dug it. I'm glad that I was able to read to see where it first started. I did ask Jenna at work. It's like, hey, so this person, is this a character I always see on the different covers? And it's like, no, it's someone else. What? So it's pretty crazy. I really do want to dig deeper into like the I guess Zenescope lore a little bit to see how characters like Robin Hood and Belle from this, because it's pretty wild. I dug it. I like it.
I'd read a little bit of Zenescope before, but like very little and very like, and honestly, I think I'd only read one comic total from Grimm Fairy Tales, which was one of the Cinderella ones. And because actually I've stuck more, is probably not surprisingly, I've read like Possessed, like more of their like horror titles that they did. And so although a new one that came out was the Black Knight, I think it was called.
Yeah.
She looks super cool. I want to read that one, but I haven't gotten a chance to yet. But anyway, so this was kind of my first real like dive into Grimm Fairy Tales, and I mean this in like the biggest compliment way. It reminds me so much of those like 90s horror movies where it's like the high school students are like early college students and they're like, oh my God, Becky, are you gonna hook up with Jeff? That's crazy. Like, and I love those movies. And so I was so happy to get to read that, like it's just like one story after another where it is those setups and stuff, and then it goes into these fairy tales and it's over the top and it's gross and it's awesome, and it's just like I really just enjoyed it. It's so much fun. Like I said, it reminds me so much of like the 90s like movies and everything, which I don't know what year. You've got the book right there, like what year?
The first one, okay, so this actual book came out in 2013, but if I recall, they started writing these in like 2005. This is a reprint of the trades because they sold out. They made a small print of like the first printings of them because they didn't think a whole lot of people were into them. They sold out. They sold out like crazy. Like I can show you prints. So this is a first print. This is volume 9. But you see how bright and colorful and like dark and like everything it is, right? The reprints, they printed out white with a single character on them. So that's how you can tell the difference between first prints and reprints.
Okay.
Well, at least the main Grimm Fairy Tales trades. I used to have I used to have the first ones, but things happen in life. But that is always how you can tell the difference. And you can also tell like a thing that they had back when they first started also was each comic had different artists and different writers. All they were given was that this one character with a book had to be in it. And this is the story you needed to do. Go. So every single issue had a different writer, had different pen letters, had different, like whole different teams for every single issue. Like they started off as an anthology and then slowly realized they had something here where they could just like put it together. And so they started something else called Grim Fairy Tales Tales of Terror, where it was Bamski. So all of these ones, they're usually single issue comics, but they have these specialty ones that were like this. All of these are one shots where it's more taking onto the tales in the most deadly way. Like this one was the sorority girl murder type, like cliche, I guess you could say. They've also done one, it was called Conspiracy, where it was like Area 51. They did one, they've done snuff film, they've literally have 3 volumes of each of these being single issue anthology, like Tales of Terror, where it was old, not old wives' tales, but old
like old folklore sort of thing.
Yes, that's what it is. Yes. And that's what the Tales of Terror did. They do have one character, Lady Death is in here. Their version of Death. She's in all of them.
I add on to what Bean was saying earlier. It reminds me of like, and I think this is why I like the Zenescope books. I really want to read more of them. It reminds me of like the horror sci-fi films that were made on a certain budget. Filmed. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. That aired Saturday nights on the Sci-Fi Channel. That's what it reminded me of, like seeing those movies just growing up, like the early 2000s one. They had that look. They had the sorority girls. Even like looking at Zenescope, I'm like, I could see them making like a 1.5 hour horror film based off of the Grim Fairy, like the horror, like the horror anthologies that they released.
Tales of Terror.
Yeah, Grim Tales of Terror.
Oh my gosh! And so, they did actually have a Kickstarter many years ago to do an animated version of at least the first couple of trades for Grim Fairy Tales. I don't think it hit its goal or got canceled. I can't remember, but I might have heard a rumor that somebody else might be trying to look at it for picking up. I don't know. We'll have to find out. Lay a wink.
I just imagine Grim Fairy Tales, but as an anime.
Yes.
Because let's just get it out of the. Let's just talk about it. A lot of sexy ladies in these books. A lot of them. And anime's real good at that. They're good at that. And
you guys can see it.
A lot of strong female characters in a lot of corsets and push-up bras.
I think. Oh, here we go. Look at that armor.
Yes.
We'll have to have the producer put a better picture up somewhere, but like that's armor.
Yeah.
Yes. Hold on, I've got one more better one, I think.
We'll blur it out if not. Oh yeah, that one's fine. Probably wearing a bra, or is that her under boob?
That is just her boobs, because all she has is mesh on top of it.
Maybe a few little pixels.
Yeah. And then, her ripped up jeans that are literally ripped up everywhere. So their covers are a little more scantily clad.
Yeah.
We call them the spicy covers when they come in. Like, ooh, the spicy covers in.
Well, it's the C cover. They're the only company that that they are going to have the sort of pinup style nice looking lady on the C cover.
Yeah.
So, they're very consistent.
Very consistent. And the covers are always super kind of spicy. But then you read it and you're like, okay.
It has such depth. it's so good. Like you do kind of think because there are, especially like in the 90s, there were those that came out that was just like I don't know if I'm using the word right, but like just like the cheesecake, like basically like of just, cute girls in scenarios and that was about it. But yeah,
Called
Grim
the
Fairy
fan
Tale,
service.
yeah. It has lore, it has depth, like it's good.
I'm so glad you liked it. I really, because I've been threatening Shanice with this for a while. Like, you're gonna read this.
For a while.
Finally,
Oh,
like,
okay.
just 2 years, maybe just a little bit, and finally had to. I need it. I need it some more. Like, oh my gosh, I really hope that rumor comes true.
I don't know when they tried to do that Kickstarter before, but if it was before there were so many like online services, and I mean like now you could reach a huge audience of people that want to see that and who love Grim Fairy Tales. That would be it would, like I said, it would be so good.
I mean, look right now on Prime, they have Invincible and The Boys. They have a new The Boys.
Yeah.
Oh God, what's it called?
The Boys Diabolical.
Diabolical. Thank you, Shanice. The Boys Diabolical cartoon coming up. Invincible season 2 has already been renewed. Like it is time.
Do it.
Do it. Like I need a picture of like Lucy from
Disenchantment.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was literally just watching it last night because the latest season came out, and I was like, oh,
It's out already?
yes. I'm already like mostly done with it. Like, yeah.
I need to jump on it.
She needs to immediately roll into outro like, okay, bye guys, like I gotta go.
I gotta watch something else. See y'all later.
Read this week. I'll see you next week. Bye.
Yeah, because it is unless we have other ending thoughts on Zenescope other than that they are epic and they need to make an animated series. I want to see animated series instead of live action. Live action would be cool, but I just want to see animated series. Really
I think
bad.
an animated series would probably be able to do some of the things that they do a little bit better. But I'm a little afraid if they do an animated series, they might make it just based off like if somebody picks up this to do an animated series on and they only look at the covers and somebody else tells them the story, it'll be messy. Like it needs to be somebody who sits down and reads it to be like, oh, okay, so the covers aren't really the inside. Got it. Like, I don't know. That's my only fear if they do it animated is somebody will do it a little extra.
See, I am worrying more about the live action them doing that. Partly because I feel like, and I know that you are a big fan, you, Jen, are a big fan of practical effects. Yeah, obviously, like you thinking about the budget that maybe a project like this would have, maybe they go towards more like our actress is wearing very little clothes to compensate for we don't have that much werewolf face budget.
Yeah,
which happens.
I don't know. I think if it got picked up by like Prime or Netflix or Hulu, they would probably get the budget like they did for Invincible or hopefully The Boys Diabolical and do it animation style, more like that.
Yeah. Yes. But looking forward, Shanice, what are we reading next week? It's your turn.
So you guys are going to read Chew Volume 1. It's an older book. It came out like 10 years. Well, it started like 10 years ago. But basically,
CHU or CHEW?
CHEW.
Okay.
Original. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
okay.
It's really fun. It's gross. It's icky. You will not eat anything for a while after reading it. But it's great. Like so, it's about a man named Tony Chu. He cannot eat anything without getting flashes of where it came from. So if he eats an apple, he can see the orchard where it came from. If he eats a hamburger, he sees the slaughterhouse where it came from. So the only thing that doesn't make him have these flashes, it's so funny. Okay, so it's actually beets. So he has to eat beets, and he won't get flashes to where these beets came from for some reason. And our producer's really happy with our recommendation.
Wait, like nothing? Like,
yeah, if he eats fish, he sees, oh, it came from this lake. If he eats a taco, it's like, oh no, it came from this. So it leads to
I bet
him,
if he went to like fast food places, he'd be like, this isn't meat.
he can't do it. Yeah. So he in universe, something happens and it causes chickens to be banned. So there's no chicken sandwiches, no fried chickens. There's this underground. He looked so horrified when I said that. Like,
well, I just had an image of all the chickens going to jail.
I did too. Yeah.
Little handcuffs, like I don't know.
Handcuffs on their like wings or on their like.
Yeah, like little chicken.
Oh man, what did the chickens do?
So something happens. A lot of people get very ill. They get sick. So the government's worldwide are like, hey, just chicken ban. But this leads like this black market of chicken foods. Like in the first.
Oh my God! Is Popeye's black market now?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. It's black market in the first issue that has like this speakeasy where there's like they have booze, of course, but there's like, hey, I have the good stuff, man. It's like a book of my fried chicken. Like it's.
Oh my God. You got that gravy? You got that gravy? With that chicken?
And I don't want to say anything else because I want you guys to experience True. It's one of my all-time favorite comics. I love it so much, and I think you guys really like it. I know I said you won't eat anything like chicken, or you won't eat anything afterwards, but you may get a piece of fried chicken, just kind of numb on it afterwards. Like, I'm so happy I don't live in a universe where this is banned.
Yeah. I want to know, what is the correlation between the guy that can't eat anything but beets and chicken being banned with a black market? Does he see the chickens?
So the reason why I bring that up, because like it's just for like context of like what he does, like what his job is. He's supposed to like bust these like chicken speakeasies because they're banned, they're not allowed. He's like a stickler for the rules.
I can't eat this because I see everything, and it's my job to stop people from eating chicken.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil too much about it. It's really fun. One thing I will say, because this is like a food-related comic, the FDA is on the same level as the CIA, the FBI. They're like their own.
Oh my God! Yes,
that's so good.
It's great. I'll bring my copy tomorrow, and you guys. It's so fun. I love it.
I'm scared. I'm scared, and at the same time, I'm excited.
Oh, I'm so excited. And we're gonna go ahead and end it here, so Shanice can go off and go get watching Disenchantment, and Jenna can finish the new season and everything. So it has been.
Need more chicken.
It's been so fun. I'm so excited to reach you for next week. Oh my goodness. Hug your chicken nuggets, evidently, because they might be banned. But yeah, so we've been Space Cadettes. I'm Bean with Shanice and Jenna. There we go. I tried so hard to point the right way. Oh, but we've had so much fun. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.